Hey everybody, Jonathan Broadbent here, Unwoke Academy. This is going to be a quick one. T-Mobile, in case you're not following, is kind of blowing up all over social media, taking some really egregious corporate action. What they're doing or what they're proposing is a significant change to their terms of service. I've touched on this a few times over the last few days. It's often referred to as TOS for short. Their terms of service are what they require of you, the consumer. And the change is awful and egregious. Everyone is rightly acknowledging and noticing online that this is a significant step toward the desired social credit system. If you're not familiar with that, I'll briefly touch on it. Social credit system is basically a database of all your actions and behaviors that's compiled online that can be used to effectively control your actions, behaviors, financial life, your access to currency, income, your bank account, etc. That's actually in place in places like China right now. You can be publicly shamed and you can lose access to your money and your accounts if you are deemed to be acting inappropriately or in ways that the government, Big Brother, in other words, doesn't like. So T-Mobile, a few days ago, issued new terms of service, but they take effect in a few days on Monday, January 1st, 2024. And it looks a little something like this. If you are deemed to be communicating in a way that they don't like, and that means certain words or phrases or references to certain material ideas or concepts, then they can and will begin to fine you $3,500 for saying something that T-Mobile doesn't like. Well, now it's up to we, the people, to fight back and inform T-Mobile that we don't approve of this. So I'm putting together several things. This is a video description of what to expect from Unwoke.Academy and Second Vote. So I'm going to be pulling out and reporting all the information that's available to the Second Vote team, whatever they've compiled over the last 12 years on the corporate actions and behaviors of Second Vote, of T-Mobile rather, and their score. I'm also going to be pulling reports on the ownership structure. Who owns the majority of T-Mobile? I think it will probably not surprise the general public, but here's the next step. I'm asking for you to start sharing publicly or privately any investment choices in your 401k plan. Just throw them out there. You don't have to connect anything to it. I'm not looking for your account information or anything. I'm not looking for that. I just simply want some information about the investment options that are available to you in your company 401k plan. That's usually, well, a mutual fund or exchange traded fund, sometimes collective investment trust, but starts throwing those names and a ticker symbol my way. And what I want to start doing is publicly reporting on those and show if there's ownership in those of T-Mobile, because here's what we're seeing. As predicted, this is now a predictable pattern. We're seeing an intended negative action on the part of a corporation, in this case, T-Mobile. I've now confirmed that T-Mobile does intend to take this step, but completely contrary to what we would expect under normal circumstances, T-Mobile price, their share price, is actually going up today. That is a bad sign. What it means is some far left wokadoodle managers, that's my term, I like to call them wokadoodle, these money managers that run mutual funds and things like them are actually taking your money, our investment dollars, our hard-earned cash, and pumping it into T-Mobile to prop up the stock price. Here's the way that works. We already have people all over the internet talking about withdrawing from T-Mobile, not signing up for service. I don't suggest thinking in terms of a protest or a boycott. I suggest thinking in terms of vote your values. That's more long-term. I think that corporations think when they see boycott of T-Mobile services, they think that they can just sit back and wait it out and people will return to them in 1 or 2 quarters and maybe they just take a little bit of a dip. But if we really hit them where it counts, which is their share price, we have much more of an impact, and it's an immediate one. So that just simply means taking a look in your investment portfolio, your 401k or IRA, wherever your money is invested. Take a look yourself. Some of my prior videos walk you through how to do it yourself and find out the holdings in those mutual funds. Look for T-Mobile, and if it's in there, try and find a replacement. Maybe move some things around and restructure your portfolio. Talk to your financial advisor. You can get good guidance, but make those decisions, because that's how we, the people, protest back against the actions of companies like T-Mobile. Hit their share price and they will pay attention. I'm not saying that they will ignore a mass exodus of clients, but if they get a loss of subscribers and they plan to wait it out a quarter or two and hope that those people return to T-Mobile, that's entirely different than if we hit the share price of that company really hard right away, right now. That's what I'm advocating for. That's the message I think that needs to be sent. And to put a clearer point on that and illustrate what I envision, we have an environment now where it's really, whatever you want to call it, right versus left. The left are really exceptionally bold. They go out, they will get violent, loot things, burn down cities, destroy stuff, threaten violence. They've even shown up uninhibited in front of Supreme Court justices' houses, and they will stop at nothing. They're destroying paintings, stopping traffic, shutting down airports, freeway systems, bridges, destroying famous art, you name it. If the left gets agitated about an issue, they will stop at nothing to force it through and get that thing done. Well, here's the issue that they face. We, the people, the sane majority, we are way more. We're like 95% of the world's population, the sane, normal, rational, reasonable people. And sane, rational, reasonable, normal people, we don't want a muting of our First Amendment rights, and we don't want cell phone carriers like T-Mobile tracking our conversations and text message and whatever that looks like. We don't want them trying to penalize us for saying things, especially consider 2024 coming up. We have a major election. That's the type of company that will try, I suggest, looking at 4 years ago in 2020, I think that they will try all sorts of things to mute and silence behavior. They will pick common words used by political adversaries of the reigning regime and suppress conversation among those people. That is a big concern that I have. And I think, reading the tea leaves, that's what they're after. But if we hit hard and hit now, then we are finding a peaceful, lawful answer to those outrageous protests that the left stage when they shut things down and burn stuff and loot and stomp and threaten people. We, the people, in a sane, reasonable, lawful manner, can vote with our wallets, and we can positively affect situations like this. So read the reports, check out the stuff that I'm putting out on unwoke.academy and my Substack. I'll be releasing reports on the ownership of T-Mobile. Use that. If there's any question, or if you just have some investments and you're not sure and you want research, I can't guarantee to get to everybody, but I'll get as many as I can. I'm going to spread it out among my team and start reporting on them. If you have whatever it is, mutual fund or an exchange traded fund, whatever those investments are you have, if you want us to drill down and see if we can find T-Mobile in there, let's do it. This is a great opportunity for us to organize and fight back against the woke left. Thanks for listening, and thanks for taking action. I'm your host